What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So it is your fellow weirdo here, Tawny Michelle, back at you again with another pick a card reading. And basically what these cards are drawn for is to basically give you guidance and tell you what the F is up, just tell you what the F is up. Because the energies are really freaking crazy right now. It's heavy, and I feel like everybody just needs a little something, you know what I mean? So that is basically what this reading is for. So we're gonna call your ass out today and basically see what's going on with you. So this is pile 1, this is pile 2, this is pile 3. So the timestamps will be down in the description below and in the comments. If you need help picking, we do have crystals on these piles as well. And also just pick with your intuition, not your eye. So basically what you want to do is just take a few deep breaths. When you inhale, try to hold it, not with your throat, but with your gut for anywhere between 3 and 6 seconds. And then exhale. I normally do like 4 seconds. And then once you exhale, hold it for 3 to 6 seconds. And then inhale again, hold it, exhale again, hold it. I normally do that quite a few times. And by the end of it, I feel really open. I'll normally like close my eyes and not even look at the piles while I'm doing it. So I can really just kind of open all the way up before I pick a pile. So that is how I personally do it. And then also when looking at each pile, look carefully at each pile. You may feel like a tingling sensation in your third eye chakra or somewhere in the top of your head in your crown area. So that's another way. Or you may sense something through feeling. Everybody's gifts come out a little bit more in different ways. So just go with your intuition basically. And let's go ahead and get into it. What is going on, pile number 1? This is for those of you that picked this pile with this beautiful crystal on it. I think it's like, you guys know I always butcher the names of these because I really can't remember, but it's like aura quartz or something along those lines. It truly is beautiful, and depending on how you look at it, you can see different colors and rainbows in it, and it's just so fascinating. So anyways, but that is what this crystal is. So I'm gonna go ahead and just lay them out so they're already all up here. Alrighty, now that the cards are all pretty looking and even and my Libra sun is satisfied, let's go ahead and go through your cards. So the first card that you have here is the World, which is very interesting. I swear I thought that was reversed when I first turned the pile over, but I could be wrong. So major energy with the World card. The World indicates overcoming some really big shit. It's kind of like at that point, for me personally, what I identify the World with of like, fuck it, like I've been through it all. I don't really care. Everything's kind of like morphing, and it's like an ending, but also like a new beginning. And it's also a sign of like awakening, but awakening isn't how a lot of people can sometimes make it out to be. It's not all love and light and rainbows and unicorns, right? Like it is pretty brutal at times, like super brutal at times. And it can consist of a lot of things ending, a lot of things crashing, a lot of things kind of falling away, and that's kind of the energy that we're in with Pisces. It's kind of this energy of things just slipping away, things ending, cycles ending. So you're definitely going through a heavy time of a huge cycle ending, but the good thing is that starts you on a new beginning, that starts you on a new journey, pile 1. So let's go ahead and see. Ooh, okay, so we have the 10 of Cups, we have the 5 of Pentacles, we have the 2 of Pentacles. Okay, so there's a lot of stress in this pile when it comes to foundational things. So family, money, feeling like an outsider. I feel like pile number 1, you guys have been feeling like a dream that you really thought was going to happen didn't happen, okay? And that's been really, really affecting you. you've had to walk away from something that you really thought was going to work out because and see, the major arcana with the world here, this is about things that we can't necessarily see, things that are kind of in the spiritual plane that are somewhat out of our control. And so what you don't see, pile number one, is that this huge cycle that is ending in your life where everything's kind of coming together is happening for a higher purpose, because this dream or this vision that you had envisioned that turned out to be really freaking rough, that turned out to leave you out in the cold, to leave you stranded. I'm really feeling that some of you guys could have lost a sense of family or a sense of home or a relationship, something along those lines. It's almost like you've been really struggling because, like, either paying the bills, keeping the lights on, where you're going to live or where you're going to work or what you're going to do after whatever this thing ended that you thought was going to be so much more than it was. It's kind of like it came to a brutal ending and you came to a brutal awakening. And that's also what this could be here with the Ten of Cups and the World here, is like this awakening that was really freaking brutal for you guys. It was like, whoa, it was like a wake-up call. And you've had to almost reflect on your past. It's almost like your past hit you in the face in some way, like an I told you so moment, and maybe no one told you, or maybe you thought to yourself at the time, you told yourself at the time, I shouldn't do this or whatever. It's kind of like all making sense, I'm feeling. It's kind of like all coming together with the world there. It's like it all connects and you're seeing all the dots and you're like, okay, but what am I going to do now? Right? What am I going to do now? You're considering your options. And even if you're still in this Five of Wands phase or this Five of Pentacles phase and you feel like you don't have any options, you do, because the Two is coming next, and you're not going to have as many options as you had before. You're not, but it's more simple that way. It's all about perspective, pile number one. It is all about perspective here, because your perspective is what led you to this situation to begin with. Okay, like something that you thought was never going to end, something that you thought was your happily ever after, or was like the jackpot for you in some way, turned out to be 100% not. Okay, like it really hit you hard, like hard. And you've had to like take what's left elsewhere, and now you are having to consider options that I feel like you wish you didn't have to consider. So let's go ahead and see. This is a deep one. We have Say What You Mean. We have Sexual Arts. We have The Perfection of Your Life. We have Going Beyond Normal. So let's stop there for now. So this is interesting. Well, let's start with The Perfection of Your Life here, because that's where I'm being called to. So I really feel like this is all about kind of endings and beginnings once again, not getting too hung up on one part of the picture, one part of the artwork, one part of the masterpiece that's happening here, okay? Because there's a masterpiece at play that you can't even see right now. And that's where this going beyond normal comes in. It's like you're going to have to shift your consciousness, which I feel like is already happening for a lot of you, to look at things from a abnormal point of view. Instead of like what you would maybe typically think, it's like thinking in a new way, thinking in a new direction, okay? Now what I'm getting here with Say What You Mean and Sexual Arts, so I'm kind of feeling like some of you, because this is number 33, which also deals with communication. So I'm kind of feeling like some of you are dealing with a situation in which maybe it involved a relationship in some way, okay? It involved another person in some way. And I also feel like you're not asking for help, or you're not communicating how you really feel. But I do want to see what else you have before we kind of move on here. So we have Purification Fire, the bare essentials, the naked truth, wholeness. And we have harmony, power, self-confidence, productivity. Okay. So there's definitely a theme with confidence here, and that's kind of what I'm getting from sexual arts as well, is like that you don't see yourself as beautiful in some way, or you don't see, for some of you, this could be in the past. This could be you living in the past and having to relive it in some way, or like choosing to relive it in a sense because you haven't fully gotten the lesson behind it. But with purification here, bare essentials, naked truth, wholeness, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's like you're being stripped down to the bare essentials. You're being stripped down to what truly matters in order for you to see clearly and not in this Ten of Cups reverse delusional state anymore. Okay, like, and maybe the situation involved you speaking up, asking for help, or your own confidence, your own self-worth, okay? And with harmony there, power, self-confidence, productivity, it's like I do feel like this is kind of showing you your true inner power. This is showing you what true harmony is inside and without, not just without. Not looking for someone else to fill that void, to fill that burden for you, or to carry that burden for you, because the burden is within you and no one else should have to carry it. And in this harmony card, she has a lotus on her chest, and I like love lotuses. And what's funny about lotuses is they are so freaking gorgeous, right? But they're born from murky water. They are born from really gross water. And so all of us, anybody that's anybody, has a past. Okay? And even if yours is still present, like one day you're going to look back at this and be like, I can't believe I made it through that. Right? Like, and this story is going to be exactly the opposite of what you thought it was. And I'm also getting here with say what you mean in sexual arts, like honestly, something could have happened to you guys sexually. Okay, some of you, maybe not all of you, but maybe, I hate to say this, but like maybe someone was taking advantage of you either in a relationship, or maybe it happened in your past and now it's like affected this situation somehow it plays into this situation. Because with the world here, it's like past, present, future all coming into one. There's no time. It's kind of like, so that's why I'm having trouble figuring out if this is in your past, present, you know what I mean? But that could be the case for some of you guys, and you may need to somehow do some shadow work, or get into some psychological healing methods to really work that out in some way, shape, or form. So, okay, and then we have death and inner journey. Like I was saying, definitely going through some huge endings if you picked this pile and if this is resonating. There's huge energy, there's just huge endings. And see, what I see here with inner journey, I'll tell you a little bit of experience I have with kind of what I'm feeling. The only way for me to describe what I'm feeling with this card is for me to explain it in my own experience. So basically, I was like in my own personal hell, which seems very similar to what you guys are going through, where I was in this kind of situation, right, that we talked about. I was in a situation where I was basically being taken advantage of, and it wasn't necessarily against my will because I had no other choice. I was in a situation where I was basically like I had to live with this person to survive. I know this is getting really deep, but if you've seen my life before tarot and astrology and my spiritual awakening video, I kind of talked about this, but I've been in some deep shit, man, and I was so scared of being homeless or of not having resources, of basically not being able to live properly, that I put up with that. And basically, no one should have to put up with that. And that's a really tragic situation. And so with inner journey here, I kept looking for anything outside of me to fix this instead of just facing myself and letting everything crash like it was already happening anyway. Like I tried so hard to just picking up the pieces, but it was like, oh my God, like, and eventually I got to a point where I had to face myself. You know what I mean? I couldn't run anymore. And I got to a point where I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm done, which goes back to this first card. And I faced myself, because what I see here with these symbols, it almost looks like a compass to me. And it almost seems like lost. Like, that's kind of just what I looked at when I saw that card. Like, that's just what came to me, and that's how I felt. It was like I was searching for everything outside of me, and I was lost, and I was like, I don't know which way to go, tell me which way to go. But the answers were always inside of me. It was like, yo, nothing outside of you is fixing this, and shit's just gonna keep falling away. Bare essentials, the naked truth, it keeps going back to that. So let's see what your last two cards are. So we have Shaman, Ancient Healing Wisdom, and then we have Ocean, Ebb and Flow. Okay. So yeah, with ocean, this is just the ebb and flow of life, like I was talking about before. Things end, things begin. It happens simultaneously, okay? It happens at the same time. You can't end something without beginning something. You can't begin something without ending something, right? It happens simultaneously. It is the balance, okay? And that is part of life. It's a roller coaster. And you seem like pile one, like you're going through some real shitty lows right now. I'm not even gonna lie to you. If you pick this pile and you're not going through shitty lows, then this is just not your reading. I'm sorry, don't make it resonate if it's not resonating. But I don't know, someone in this pile is going through some real shit stuff. And yeah, I just, with the ebbs and flows here, it's like the law of balance, right? The yin and yang, for there to be a low, there has to be a high. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then with Shaman, Ancient Healing Wisdom. Okay, so I think, whatever you guys go through, like I said, you need to get into some kind of healing work. Well, first you need to face yourself, because the healing's not going to come until you face the wound, until you face whatever it is that you're so scared of, whatever it is that you're running from. Okay, and once you do that, then you need to get into some kind of healing work, I feel. It could be shamanism, it could be shadow work, it could be, some kind of psychological healing, just whatever you feel is right for you, because that is what I feel like is going to help you. We go through these things so we have the experience for whatever is to come in life, right? So we have the experience to fulfill whatever we are here to fulfill. So please keep that in mind, pile number one. Hang in there, you guys. Like, I know it sucks, but we do the most absurd things to avoid ourselves. Carl Jung made a quote similar to that. Like, we will do and go out of the way and just do like the craziest things and go through the craziest things just to avoid looking at ourselves. And that's what I feel like you guys are doing. It's like, and because you just keep going against the grain instead of flowing with it, you're being stripped down. You're being stripped down naked until you surrender. You know what I mean? Like, so anyways, that's what I'm getting for pile one. I know that was super deep, and I did not mean for it to be that deep, but now we are going to move on to pile number two. What's up, pile number two? This is for those of you that picked this beautiful crystal. I forget what it's called. It's not amethyst. I don't think it is. It might actually be. I'm so horrible with crystal names, you guys. I'm sorry. But let's go ahead and get into your pile and see what is going on with you guys, what kind of guidance you need to hear, and how we can basically call your ass out today. So the first card you have is the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so what I'm feeling here is a sense of self-worth, a lack of self-worth, nurturing others, possibly too much, issues with finances, issues with money, or issues with a job. Okay, being taken advantage of is also what I'm sensing here. An unfair situation that either you're feeding, okay, because you think that's what you're worth, or that you're not feeding. Okay, it could be different for different ones of you, but let's see what your next card is. Okay, so we have the Nine of Swords, and we have the Page of Pentacles. So you're definitely stressed out, and you may not even realize that you are somewhat feeding this, right? Like whatever this is, it's got you very depressed. And it really stems from a feeling of lack, from a feeling of not feeling good enough, not feeling safe, not feeling secure, not trusting, I'm getting for some reason as well, not trusting in something, not being grounded and too in your head. And what I'm getting with the Page of Pentacles here is that you have more options than you think. And what I'm also getting is that for some of you, this could be a work or school situation. You may think that you don't have the skills for something or the teachings for something, the knowledge for something, but that's completely wrong. You can learn, okay? And also what I'm feeling here is that it's definitely something physical. So whether it's like a house, a job, school, a car, it's definitely something to do with the earthly realm that you're like really stressed out about. And I feel like you think almost like you know what's gonna happen, or you're anticipating what you think is going to happen, but you need to come at it from this Page of Pentacles standpoint of like, I'm learning, I'm not all the way skilled yet, and that's fine, like it'll be okay, like almost from like a childlike standpoint of like curiosity and open-mindedness and creativeness, okay? For some of you, this could be a child that you're actually stressed out about as well. It's going to be different for different ones of you, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and move on to your oracle cards. So we have loss, grief, sadness, resurrection. We have a hidden gift. Oh wow, look at that. We also have seeing the true you. We also have collaborative dreaming. So let's go ahead and stop there. So with loss, grief, sadness, and resurrection, like I said, there's definitely some kind of feeling of lack here, and it could have been brought on by some kind of loss of something, a loss of income, a loss of a job, just some kind of money situation in general, a loss of a car, home, whatever. And that was kind of similar to how pile 1 started out as well, but then it kind of went in a whole different direction. But basically, there's definitely a lot of lack feeling, a lot of lack mentality, and it's been really stressing you out, causing sleepless nights, causing depression. You don't feel secure, and that's your issue. But here's the thing is that there's hope here because we have the Page of Pentacles. So this is a job offer, a new car, but it may not be the same thing. And that's what you have to keep in mind. That's why you have to stay open-minded, because the Queen is a lot higher up on the hierarchy, right, than the Page. So you may have to settle for something a little bit different, or at least get in the mindset of that this is some kind of hidden gift that you can't see yet. This is some kind of hidden gift that you can't see yet. Sadness, an ending, a new beginning. This also has sadness, but it has resurrection. So this is a hidden gift at your doorstep that you can't even see yet. Something new will come in. It may not be the same as it was before, but honestly, how happy were you? Really? Because the Queen of Pentacles reversed is not happy. She is literally like being taken advantage of, greedy at the same time, like selfishly unselfish is the Queen of Pentacles reversed to me. So what may look like an ending or a loss is actually a gift that you cannot see. And then we even have seeing the true you. And this is helping you. This situation is going to reflect to you how truly horrific things have been for you. Not that you're a horrific or bad person, but we go through phases, right, where we get stressed, we get in fear mode, and because we're in fear mode, we're not acting like ourselves. And so this opportunity is going to be for you to be authentic to yourself, not giving yourself to everybody else or taking from everybody else. Whatever side of the coin you fall on, it's basically like, I don't feel safe myself, so I'm going to somehow look for that in everything else around me and in other people, basically. It's like a lack of self-worth, a lack of stability. This is instability. And you have a chance here to rebuild something new. But it's like, are you going to take it? And that's collaborative dreaming. It's about asking for help. You may be the one that always helps other people. You may be the one that literally, like I said, it could go either way. You could have been really selfish and like really taking from other people out of greed and fear because of a lack. You know what I mean? It happens. We all go through phases. Even people that are that are overly giving, it's for a selfish reason still, because there's something inside of them where they don't feel safe or secure. So with collaborative dreaming, it's like you're learning to see the true you and to truly collaborate with other people, to truly be able to either ask for help if you're somebody that doesn't, or to be able to help others if you're somebody that normally doesn't or that hasn't been. Okay? So moving on to the rest of your oracle cards, we have sexuality. It's coming up a lot. We have alchemy. We have entrapment. Okay, interesting. So the entrapment, definitely. You've been entrapped in your own fears of lack, of instability, of self-worth, of not having enough, of fear. And with alchemy there, that goes with the hidden gift of like turning this loss into a win, right? Because you don't have to be trapped anymore. You know, you may have felt like you had to be there, or you had to be in this situation, but you don't. And now you can turn this loss into a gain. Because like I was telling Pile 1, every ending is a new beginning simultaneously. You can't have a new beginning without an ending, and vice versa. With sexuality there, this is kind of really weird because that came up in Pile 1, and Pile 1 was similar to the feeling of feeling trapped or dealing with an ending, etc. So let me see what other cards you have so I can get a better idea of this. Okay, so we have duality, we have teaching, and then we also have solitude, radiance. Okay, for some of you, this could be dealing with a relationship. You could be putting up with a shitty relationship if it's not a job or a child or family stuff. It could be a relationship. Okay, with sexuality, collaborative dreaming, duality, entrapment. There's definitely something here that is preventing you from really tapping into your creative energy, because that's what sexuality is, right? And with duality here, it's kind of like when we're looking at as things as separate and not connected. It's kind of like when we are picking a side of the seemingly opposite forces. It's kind of like you lost something. And I kind of am getting that some of you guys feel like you lost something that you want back. But do you really? Like, how happy were you with that, really? And with solitude here, I feel like some of you guys may be going a little bit stir crazy because of the solitude. Or some of you guys may need to take some time to yourself in order to bring back that creativity, bring back that creative radiance within you. And then we also have teaching. So I kind of feel like this is a teachable moment, and it really goes with the Page of Pentacles as well, because the Page of Pentacles is learning. Okay, so some of you guys may need to look at this as something that you can learn from, something that, once again, you can use alchemy and turn it into a gift, turn it into a positive. Now, some of you guys may have a dream of teaching, or may have a dream of learning about something new that you can go do now, or you can go back to school now, or you can somehow take an online course, or study something that you've really wanted to do. And whatever this is that's clearing out of your life is giving you the chance to do that. It's giving you the chance to tap into who you really are instead of who you thought you were or who you felt like you had to be. Okay, so that is what I'm getting for you guys, pile number 2. Let me know down below if that resonated, and we're going to move on to pile number 3. What is going on, pile number 3? This is for those of you that picked the third pile with this black stone on it. I don't know if it's black tourmaline or black obsidian or onyx. I'm not sure which one it is, but that is it. So let's go ahead and get into your cards. So far, these readings have been really deep. I did not plan for them to be that deep. So let's go ahead and see what's going on. So the first card you guys have is the 5 of Cups. Surprise, surprise. Guess this is probably going to be another deep one. Okay, so what I'm feeling here just with this energy is that there's a sense of emotional loss that normally comes with the 5 of Cups, but I'm really, really feeling that. It's like a feeling of being let down, a feeling of losing hope. But you're just kind of at a point where it's like, what's the point is what I'm getting. Like, what am I doing? Like, it's like everything I'm doing is just going wrong, and I'm over it. Is kind of what I'm getting from this card. But let's see. Okay, so we have the 6 of Swords reversed, and we have the 4 of Swords upright. Okay, it feels like everything that you try to do, it's like you take 2 steps forward and 10 steps back, and you're just like, I can't. Like, I can't keep going like this. Like, what is going on, you know? Like, it's like this is almost like a sense of giving up on something. You know, giving up on something, needing to just kind of take a breather from something, needing to just kind of go within. I almost feel like some of you feel like your options are limited, or because like with the 6 of Swords here, this is usually, you know, moving to smoother waters, like we got to get the hell out of here. When this is reversed, I'm kind of getting like, there's no way out, or it feels that way at least. It doesn't, because this is all mental and emotional. It's not physical. Okay, so it's not that there's no way out. And I want to make it clear, because sometimes during these readings, people will comment and be like, oh, thanks, like, because I'll say in a reading, like, it's go time. The universe is giving you a go, like a green light, and someone will comment and be like, oh, thanks. So, like, this was my sign, I need to just end it all, or something crazy. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying this is just a temporary energy of feeling like this sucks and I don't feel like I have any more options and I don't know what else to do. Not a sense of like suicide or anything like that. So I just want to make it clear. But there's a sense of needing to disconnect, a sense of needing to just rest. And honestly, I don't know about you, but it pisses me off even saying that, because I've been getting that so much, but I've rested so much, like, and I'm like, I can't rest anymore. Like, I don't know what else to do. You know what I mean? So I get it, but we still technically are in the winter. Okay. So it's not time to be like all out partying and, you know what I mean? Like, just doing all this crazy spring and summer shit, right? Like, we're almost there, but we're not quite there yet. And so you've tried, you've made countless attempts. I feel it's just like something needs a rest for now. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to your oracle card. So for your first oracle card, we have the message, positive news, positive outcome. That's good. And then we have peace, dissolving unwanted or disturbing thoughts. Your next card is wild. And then we also have take off your mask. And we have softly, softly, the tender touch. And we also have shock of the new. Interesting. Okay, so what I'm getting here for you guys, pile number 3, is that you guys, there's kind of like, I really actually relate to this reading really hard. So there's kind of like this push and pull in you. There's this sense of you that like your creative energy has been in the dark, right? It's like, I just want to be wild. I want to do XYZ. I want to bring things to life. Okay? Like I have all this creative energy, or there's something that you really, really want to do. But it's kind of like, okay, like there's something emotionally or in your thoughts that is holding you back. With peace here, dissolving unwanted or disturbing thoughts. And so what I see here is like meditation, like really needing to meditate, really needing to like clear your mind, okay? Get to a sense of really clearing your mind, because I feel like there's some kind of answer that you may be seeking, but with the message here, I think that you need to clear your mind. You need to be in a space where you can receive it, because it may not be exactly what you think it's going to be. With shock of the new, and with take off your mask, that goes with it as well. It's like, you know, put everything else down, anything that's been distracting you, you know what I mean? Because there's something here of like, I feel like I'm losing, or I feel like I'm just not getting anywhere. That's really what this energy is like not getting anywhere. So where are you trying to get to? Why? Like these are things that you need to reflect on. So let's go ahead and look at your other cards here. So we have creativity. We have new beginnings. We have Milky Way perspective. And then we have eagle communion. Interesting. So I'm kind of getting, some of you guys may have been isolating. Some of you guys maybe feel alone or left out of something. But at the same time, it's like you want to socialize. You want to be in this like energy. And even with like the Milky Way perspective and eagle, like eagles can fly really high and they can see things from a different light. So I think what you need is time to really go within, even if you already have been, okay? Even if you already have been, new beginnings are around the corner. If you look at this card, there's a butterfly, right? There's a butterfly and eggs. This is like spring, you know, like the butterfly coming out of the chrysalis. Like you've been in your chrysalis. That's why things aren't popping, you know? Like that's why things are really kind of like down at the moment, because you've been needing to relax. You've been needing to take time to yourself. And even if you do that for a day or two, it's like, okay, well, you need to do it a little bit longer, because there's something that you're seeking here, I feel, with the message, and something that you've been trying to do, and it's going to come to you through peace. It's going to come to you through taking off the mask, through being the real you, through letting your inner wild out instead of trying to escape it, through surrender, getting quiet, sitting in silence, spending time nurturing yourself with softly, softly, the tender touch. And with shock of the new there, it's kind of like some of you don't know how to deal with this energy because you're so used to just like continuously going. It's hard to sit still. It's hard to be passive. It's hard to be submissive and receptive with that feminine energy, right? But that's kind of what I feel you're getting called to do, is to take off the shoes, right? She's got her ballerina shoes up here. Take off your shoes and just be like, okay, there's nothing I need to be doing today. I'm not going to worry about any of it. I'm just going to let it all go. I'm just going to completely flow, right? So that is what I'm getting for you guys, pile number 3. Hopefully that resonated. Let me know down below. These readings were so deep and so powerful, way more than I had planned on them being. So anyways, hopefully they resonated with some people. But yeah, I love you guys, and I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye.